Well, hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Not Enough Cheese, the antidote to cookery programs where I do the washing up. Here we're washing up after a meal of kind of Moroccan lamb and chickpeas with some baked potatoes as well. So, without further ado, let's start doing the washing up. We've got a scourer, we've got a bit of washing up liquid, and we've got a plate. So get it a bit wet. Water's not quite hot enough yet, but I guess as we carry on, the water will warm up. This has been sitting here for quite a while, a couple of hours, so it's not so much welded on, but it's dried on quite a bit. So I need to get it moist and give it a bit of elbow grease to get the Moroccan chickpea kind of stuff off. There we go. Just do the other side, get rid of any leaves, and a quick rinse. There we go. Right, and I'll start filling up the drying rack from this side, on the far end. Here we've got a chopping board, the green one. Now I've noticed that the chopping board's kind of smooth on one side and rougher on the other. Well, it's supposed to be, but because of all the kind of gashes and cuts and knife marks, both sides are pretty grim. Oh god, there we go. Give it a quick rinse. And get it in the drying rack. Now the drying rack's not that big, so I might have to double up and put that with the first plate. Now, a potato peeler. Doesn't really need much washing, because maybe just a rinse would have done. Now, and give it a scrub, stick it in there to dry. Now I notice that some water is starting to kind of seep across the worktop there, so I'll give it a little wipe to stop it dripping on the floor. Hang that up. See, I'm always worried that kind of when the water builds up there, it's seeping underneath the sink and building up, and that you get all kind of yick, mould and evilness. Okay, there's a baking tray. It's not really going to get very clean. This stuff's welded on, and I did have a go a couple of weeks ago with pan scourer, and that just took off the non-stick surface. And really, if you're baking things at like 230 degrees Celsius, centigrade, then it doesn't really need to be that clean. It's just going to burn up. Just anything nasty is going to get burnt. Anyway, there we go, both sides done, and a bit of a rinse. Water's warming up. I'll shake that off a bit and leave it to dry over here. And this next is a small kind of roasting tin. I did use it for doing the jacket potatoes earlier today, but I got a bit crammed because we tried to do some jacket potatoes and some roast sweet potato in there, and there was just not enough room to do everything, so I went to use the baking tray as well. So it's all good washing up. Oh, and it's all good washing up. Here we have my Adventure Time mug. I do like having a favourite mug, so I always know which one's mine. Now, Adventure Time, the American TV series on, I think it's on Adult Swim or the Cartoon Network, is it? Yeah, but it's also on some terrestrial TV I noticed the other day in the UK. And I found my son watching it, and he's not very old, my boy, but he recognised the characters because they're the same as what's on the mug. He's like, oh look, there's Finn the human and Jake the dog. No, son, that's right. Oh. Yeah. Right. And I noticed the water's about to drip off onto the floor again, so wipe that up again. And a bit more. Did I put more washing up liquid on a few seconds ago? I don't know. Now here we have a water jug, a Vita filter kind of jug. Now, do I need to wash it since it's only ever had water in it? And so I'm basically using water to wash water. So I'll do the outside, see if we can make it clean. It's kind of a subjective, objective kind of thing. What is clean? And things are just wet. There we go. I need to rinse it, otherwise it'll just be soapy. Oh yeah, there's something there, isn't there? What is that? There we go. If I put it there, I'll off the side. And now we're down to almost the bottom of the sink, but luckily I've got loads of other things to clean. So I'll give this bowl a quick once over. Actually, the bowl was quite clean to start off with. Was it lunch that we had? I can't remember. I'm always a bit suspicious of clean plates and crockery in the sink. It's like, why are they there? Were they actually used? Or am I just wasting my time washing things that have already been washed? Who puts clean things in the sink? Is it like some mentally ill people? Do we have mentally ill people here? There's only like 3 of us in the house. Is it me? You know that thing where like 2 people can observe the kind of same event and have completely different experiences of it? Well, it's kind of like that. I put it in the sink thinking it was dirty, or somebody else put it in thinking it was dirty when actually it was clean. Am I going mad? Anyway, it's clean now. It's now drying. There's the other plate. Yes. We've got an old takeaway box that you can clean up and use again. If I've got any leftovers, it's always useful for that. I don't know why I'm telling you this, you already know. Just because you're watching my videos doesn't mean you're mongs. And I would say that. Is it disparaging? Is it even possible to hear what I'm saying when I've got the tap running? I don't know. There we go. Oh yes. Now, you might notice, I don't know if you can see it, but we've got here a brush with a sticky thing on the bottom so we can stand it up. And I don't use it anyway. It's just taking up space. Just want my scourer, that's all I need. A little scourer. And fairy liquid. Yellow fairy liquid. To be honest, I don't really care what colour the fairy liquid is, as long as it's fairy liquid brand. Does that mean I'm just too commercialised with my water lot? The fact that I only really accept fairy liquid. Will I even notice if somebody put a different kind of washing up liquid in there? I don't know. I would notice if they watered it down. I do notice when people water it down, but not if it's actually not a fairy liquid. Right. A cart door box that we used for our Moroccan chickpea thing. And so, what flavour cart door? Crema di mascarpone. Nice. Do I need to clean this? I could just throw it away. No one would know. Do you need to clean things before you recycle them? Does that kind of defeat the purpose of recycling if you're already wasting water and cleaning things? And cleaning fluid, cleaning these things. Do they actually recycle it? Is it just going into landfill on the other side of the planet? Yeah, if you want to pretend that we're recycling things, we'll charge you for that, yeah. So you can't see it from there, but there's actually quite a bit of cutlery at the bottom of the sink. I'll get around to that sooner or later, but I want to do some of the kind of the main lumpy things first. More very liquid. There we go. Did we ever get to the bottom of whether wooden chopping boards are better or worse or more kind of bacteria laden than plastic chopping boards? I remember in the 90s it was a big thing and all the kind of wooden chopping boards got confiscated by health and safety inspectors, but there wasn't actually any, well, the scientific proof of the matter was dubious. If you're into Dr. Richard North and Chris Booker, that's the sort of thing they used to talk about. Newspaper columnists in the UK. Anyway. Right, can I slot that in there? It's looking risky. Right, and then here we have, another saucepan. What even is that? Okay, put some water in that and get the Moroccan chickpea residue out. There we go. Nice. Oh, we didn't stop for an ad break, did we? I was going to do it so that after 5 minutes I could just go for adverts, because I'm trying to monetize these things on YouTube, but never mind. Right, we're doing well. We've almost finished all the lumpy items. You know when you're doing washing up and you notice dirty things on the other side of the room, and you're like, well, you've missed your chance, but should I go over there and get it anyway? Or can I just wait until tomorrow? Or is it still being used? Like, we've got a slow cooker that's bubbling away, cooking something slowly, as its nature. So should I wash up the spoon that's used to stir it, or should I just wait until the slow cooking is finished? Going by the timer, it's got another 8 hours of slow cooking. I think I'll leave it. That spoon, it's a wooden spoon, I can see it, it's got stuff on it, food on it, but it can wait. I can wait until the slow cooking's finished and its precious has been served. I'm not all anal about washing up as much as possible. Although I'm anal enough to do a YouTube show about washing up and to share my thoughts and concerns about washing up. Anyway, I'm glad that you're there listening to this. I hope you find it reassuring too. Because you know, I guess when you guys are kind of doing your washing up as well, you have the same sort of concerns. Should you do the handles? Do you do the handles first before you do the ends? The ends? What do we even call the kind of end bit of the... Is this a spatula or a fish slice? And since it's only used for kind of going into things that are already quite hot, does it really need to be that clean? As long as it doesn't imbue last week's flavours on this week's, on next week's food, does it matter? Right. Now, usually we have a system, in fact it's not usual, it's the system we have is that things that need washing up go in the sink or they get piled up over here. But I noticed that over there is a coffee pot that might need... Oh no, it doesn't. Oh. We're in luck. I thought it might need washing up, but it doesn't. Doesn't he? Sorry, I'm not Scottish. I am English. I did spend many years in Scotland. And one day I'll go back. I say one day, I'm going back in December. Just for a day trip. To see what I can see. I'm going to a concert. Which doesn't really make sense if it's a day trip, but I'm getting the Caledonian Sleeper on the way back, so I can go to a concert that finishes at 11 o'clock at night at the Stereo Cafe venue place in the city centre. A band called the Hector Collectors are playing, and the Just Jones and Colin's Godson. It should be a great kind of get together. Bands that I haven't seen for a while. Two forks there, put that in there. And tongs. Like it. This water's getting hot and my hands are getting all soapy. I think it's just the dissolving rather than actual soap. So, whilst I've still got a grip, let's have a go at this thing. This, it's like a pencil sharpener, but for carrots and vegetables and stuff. It's got kind of teeth in it, so it cuts long strips, or like spaghetti-like strips, but it just gets clogged up with stuff, residue. I'm not quite sure how to clean it. And although, it pains me, but I might have to use the brush thing. There. This is mental. What am I doing? Is it? Maybe I should just blast it with water. That's the problem with these specialist cooking things. That they get gummed up. Look, this just in there. It's got these teeth. Maybe a toothbrush. No, I'm not stooping to that level. Maybe just hot water. Maybe if I do it from the inside, is that even? No, that's not going to work either. It's just that bit right at the bottom. Okay, I'll blast it out with water. Right. Yeah, that's gross. Oh. I've got to eat food that's been through this. And it's going to have like week-old things in it. Then again, if I leave it for a week, it'll all be dry and the stuff will probably just kind of cake off rather than just sitting there festering. It's bugging me, that. How can I? What have we got? Can I use that? Is that a toilet brush? Oh, right. Oh no, look, see? It's got a nice sharp blade, so it actually cuts all the bristles off that, off the toilet brush. Maybe I should get specialist tools for this. Anyway, can't be bothered. Blast it with the water, let it dry and see what happens. Precariously bounce that up there. Okay, I've only got 4 items left in the sink. So, and now when I say 4 items, was I including the one that I was holding? No. There's 3 items in the sink and a fork. So we're almost done. On the home straight. I can watch I've got the latest episode of Star Trek. Well, I'll say the latest. That's the first episode of that Star Trek Discovery. So I'll be able to watch that. Oh, that'll be grand. And again, it's getting late. I need to go to sleep. Oh, don't you just hate it when you got things? Final item, a tea strainer with carrot in it. Was it used for tea or was it used for carrots? Who knows? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Cool, and it's gone. Right, and we're all finished. Thank you for joining me. I'll let you go and I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Ciao.